All right, everyone, welcome to the continuation of our Midwest Products Build Scale Model House. We are on the section 1A. This section, I just completed it. So it's looking pretty good right now. Let's talk about what tools I'm using. Let's just start off with the tools. I have my a little surface for cutting with my razor blade. My razor blade is pretty successful. I don't really like the box cutter, but if you feel like using the box cutter, it's probably a little safer. I have my bag of shorts, the short pieces. I have my bundle of 8-footers, scale 8-footers that are actually 5 and 5/8 long. So I have that bundle ready to go. If you'd like to use the miter saw in the miter box, that's totally your prerogative. I feel for making the 90-degree cuts, it's not as fast as the razor blade, but if we're doing, look at this 30-degree cut. This is, oh, that's too tight. That's tough, right? So doing that would be a lot harder if you didn't have this guide. Okay, so I think this tool has a great place in our lineup, but I just don't find it as fast as what I'm already doing. You have your needle nose pliers from your toolbox. You have your nails. And some of you have expressed using the glue. Remember, if you're going to use the glue, open up the top, pop off this plug. And once you pull off this plug, then you can put the top back on and then twist the top open if you're going to be using this glue. I'm not using it yet, so I'm just going to leave the plug in. Okay, so I'm going to clear the work. Oh, and we also need the sandpaper, and I'm for sure wearing my safety glasses. So let's go. Clearing the work surface because I actually want to talk about the item that we're on. So we just finished step 10, and step 10 was build wall 1A following the above instructions. Use 2x4 14-inch long lumber to cut the sole and top plates. That finish. Step 11, when wall 1A is complete, splice it to wall 1B. If you have framed wall 1A correctly, the sole plate and the top plate of wall 1B will nail onto half of the stud on the right end of wall 1A. And that's here. And this is really tricky because we only have a half here and a half here. Again, I'm going to return to the ultra zoom to talk about this a little bit more. So let me zoom way in. Here, this stud is half off of this sole plate. Okay, so the other one is going to come up and butt and share it. Okay, so that's what's going to happen there. And we're going to bring in wall section 1B now. So I just want to emphasize before we go grab section 1B, I really want you to be very careful and very slow about how you do everything. So I'm going to try leaving this in place for now. I'm going to wiggle it just to see how we're doing. Okay, I think those are just those. We have these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think those are our only pieces gripping. There might be more. I'm going to take this piece off first before I do before I splice them together, because I think it will be too much flex in it. Okay, I'm just picking it up gently. You can use the pencil. You can use the pencil to pull it up from the bottom. gently, so gently. If you hear any cracking, definitely stop and assess what's going on. You might have more nails in than you realize. Okay. If some pieces drop out, you know, you didn't identify those correctly. Or maybe like you didn't put them in at the right angle. Okay, I got everything out except for this corner. Okay, that's out and that's out. So I did have one at a weird angle here. Oh, I have a whole bunch at weird angles. So I'm gonna have to stop right now and actually take some nails out. So that's what I'd like to focus on first. And I'm glad we took this piece out because the nails are sticking out, and I feel like it's not like super dangerous, but you could definitely draw a little blood if you grab one of these nails hard in the wrong spot. So just pull out the nails gently. I like to start by pushing. Let me see if I can get a closer view of this. There we go. So for this nail here, I'd like to take it out. I just start pushing straight back on it, and I push straight back on it gently, and then it comes out the other side, and I'm able to grab it and pull it the rest of the way out. Okay? So that's the easiest way to get the nails out. And then the problem that I'm really trying to talk about here, what's happening next, is these nails are sticking out here, 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 here. I have a lot of nails sticking out. So that's a little dangerous. I also have one here. So this is going to be some repair work before we go forward. I'm going to put nails up from the bottom to try to secure the pieces. So here, I'm putting one in, up from the bottom. Here, I'm putting one up from the bottom, because I'm going to be popping these out, popping the top ones out. Boom. Nice. I'm putting in this one at a little bit of an angle. And just be really careful if you're handling yours like this, because the nails are sticking out. So that could mean that you get poked. Okay, so I'm seeing a few that I have control over here. So I'm going to take this one out here. I'm going to take this one out and put it back in. Pulling it all the way out and then putting it back in. I'm pushing down straight from the top just to get some better resistance. So you could crush this pretty easily. Now I want to focus on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nails next. And there's also one right here that's at an angle. Let's do this. I'm going to do this one first and put this back in, and then work across the whole top. I'm going to zoom out just one more. Yeah, right there. That's it. So for this one, there are some angle issues getting these pieces in. Okay, that one's fixed. And now I need to work on these. So again, to pop this out, I'm going to push with the needle nose, and then the nail starts to pop out at the top. And when I can get that out of the top, then I can gently pull it out. If I'm gentle, then I can reuse this nail. If I bend it, then I'm tossing this nail in the trash. Okay, right there. Boom, we're in. Nice. Okay, so again, I'm gonna flip it around, try to push this out. If it's not pushing, if it's not catching, if it's just slipping, open up and push out like that. There, I've got it. I'm gonna pull it out now, pull it out. And then adjust just slightly. Now I'm putting it back in. Straight, there, nice. Okay, opening them up again. I'm trying to get these top pieces here. Boom, just out. Actually, I'm just gonna try to push multiple ones out. Out, out, and then this one, out. So I have 4 poking out now, and I'm gonna replace these one at a time. So here, slowly, and then back in. And I'm applying some opposing force with my thumb underneath it. So that's keeping me from shifting. So here, these are tight, so I'm gonna take this one first and get rid of that one and get this one second and then put this one back first. There we go, boom. And then we're gonna get this one, boom, put this in here. And we're in. This last one, out, and then just straight back in. So we're just hiding that so that when we run our finger across it, we don't just get snagged by some of these protruding nails. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom out now. That was awesome. This wall is good to go now. So I'm gonna bring over the other piece that we're splicing in. And so this is, flip it. I feel like something's sticking out. I have one more nail I didn't take out down here. Push it out. Remove it. Great. Okay, so this is the piece here. This is completed, and now we're going to bring in the other piece to join right in this direction. Now, don't rush this. You want to be real slow, because messing up now means you're probably breaking something. Ooh, this is going to make it harder to store. So I can only say this. If you don't have room to store the longer pieces outside of the box, then you might want to wait on this. But this is the next piece. These two are going to go together, and we're going to join them. Join them together right. Oh, let's move this over. It's right here. So that's how they join. I'm definitely gonna say this splice looks like it's going perfectly right here and right here, and I could nail in there and then put in the fire blocks from the drawing here and here. We could do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do it, but like the concern I have is now it's not going to fit back in the box. If that's your only place to store it in a safe place where it doesn't get damaged, then I would hold off on this spot, and then you could just come back to this video later and then put them together. So I'm going to go forward with this. I'm going to get my cutting surface, my razor blade, my needle nose, and get these going. This brace, these things are staggered. So here, I'm going to do one here. Okay. Okay, that I'll need to sand when it's ready. And then this one. Okay, this is great. So I'm going to do the staggered blocks here. Oh, this one will probably be up, and then this one will be down, and then that one will be up again. So you have your sandpaper. I'm just trying to get this close to the right size. Just sand it just ever so slightly. Okay, so those are going to go right there. I can put this one in right now. I think working on it flat would probably be easiest. So this one, I'm pushing down with these two fingers, these two, and then going in sideways. Starting the nail, then pushing it from the rear all the way in. This one I'm going to get with two. It seems like it needs two to hold it. The good news is I can separate the walls still, holding down, pushing in for those two. Following up. Then that one's going to go there. I'm going to nail this next. This one, these two, and then I'm going to nail the block. Actually, I'm going to nail the block first from this side, and then join it last. Trying to decide the sequence has to do with not breaking it as we're putting forces upon it. Pushing down. That one came all the way out. The good news is I can separate it and push back a little bit. Open it up. Let's align again, gently. And pushing down. There we go. That's in there. And so now I just need to join these two together. I'm going to do the bottom one first. I think I have more control over the bottom than the top. So I'm going to apply some pressure here. Make sure it's nice and tight. Tightly push together. And go up from the bottom. I'm going to go up and I'm going to go in this angle here, like that. That's the direction my nail is going. Up, I moved it. I'm putting my finger down on both, so I'm holding it with those two fingers. Got it. That's a tough one. It's tough because it's at such a steep angle. I think the angle ended up being closer like this, that angle of the nail. And then this one is going to go in like this. go. Apply downward pressure on both sides so that they're flush with the work surface. Slowly follow up. There. Last nail is going to go here, and then we've successfully spliced the two sides together. Holding down, starting it, let go, following up. I totally missed it. Pushing back. This is the wrong angle. I'm going to try it again, getting it as close to the tip as I can. I'm gonna zoom in for this. This seems like it's pretty hard, so I want to give you a better view. Oof. Don't slip. Don't slip. Slow down. Just slowly push, slowly push. I'm putting pressure down with these three fingers here, here, and here. And that made it possible for me to nail that. But without putting pressure on these three fingers that you're seeing there on the screen, then the whole thing could shift. You might break what you have going on. So please be careful with that when you're doing it. We've successfully finished splicing together these sections. So I'm just going to push it. I'm just going to push it all the way across the screen so you can just see it kind of go across. Uh-oh, I nailed it. I nailed it to something. Something's poking out. Okay, it's right here. It's this one. So I will fix that. Boy, it is really delicate. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it out. Okay, so here's the whole piece, moving all the way across. This came out great. Please be so gentle with this and keep it in a flat spot. So I'm gonna put this flat in my other area. So slowly move that. I'm gonna measure it. You need 26 inches. You need 26 inches of space for that piece. Okay, so we are going on to the next step. So let's check out what that is. I'm gonna just have a sip of water. Okay, so let's take a look at where we're at here. We did the splice. Everything worked out perfectly. Great, 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 great. We're done with step 11. Going on to step 12. Cut and nail the rest of the cap plate for these two walls, leaving out the 1/4 inch area for the channel in wall 1B. Channel in wall 1B. The rest of the cap plate. Oh, cut and nail the rest rest of the cap plate for these two walls, leaving out a quarter for the channel in wall 1B and the corner of wall 1A. This is they're talking about here. They're talking about that there's a gap here. And then you apply the top plate running this direction. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. No, that's the only one. Okay. I'm going to bring the wall back. I'm sorry. The wall needs this cap plate on top, and that will increase its stability a lot. So I'm going to slowly bring it back and then choose an appropriate piece for it to go all the way across the top. Okay. So this is a little interesting because it doesn't say exactly which piece to use, so I'm gonna have to make a recommendation for you on that. And then, you know, we have some pretty long pieces. I think this one's too long to use it. This one's one of the original long ones, so I don't think it's that one. Let's look at a shorter piece. Yep, this one will work. A 2x4, that is, where's my tape? There it is. A 2x4 that is 14 inches long is going to be on the top. And then I know I was talking about a little bit of a gap here. This gap right here, we have to leave it in, okay? It's really weird that we don't have a good indication of the top plate, but I think it would maybe lead to a cut being made that's wrong. Okay, so here, I'm going all the way down. There's my cap. And then I'm marking over here where the wall ends, okay? The wall ends there. So I'm gonna cut the 14-inch piece there. And remember, you're leaving this gap. If you wanna know how big the gap is or you wanna push it up to the other piece, you could probably like make it a little tighter. That's up to you. But I probably just leave a larger gap there and then just drop a few droplets of glue as we bring in another wall section that's going to come straight out this way. Okay, so that's what's happening right there. And then that piece will like be right here and hold the other wall. So that's going to drop on from the top there. Okay, I like what I'm seeing here. I'm going to do a cut and then nail in this top. I probably will put in I'm going to put in 4 nails in this. So here we go. Grab my razor blade. That piece was a little bit harder than normal, so just remember to be careful with the razor blade. There. I think the most critical piece is that it's flush on this side. So I'm going to start with my nails on that side. And I'm just going to go diagonal here. This one I'm going to go right here. Next, I'm going to switch the direction of this nail, and I'm going to go here. I don't like the angle, so I'm gonna pick it out and start again. There, bam. And then one last one on the end. So a total of 4, and then I'll go over the angles right now. Okay, this last one is gonna go right in here. So pushing down, nice sharp angle. There we go. So here's my angle for this one. That one went like that. This one went like this. Here. We did another one over here. Yeah, it went this way right here. And then we got this one over here. Okay, I feel a lot better about this now. And remember, we have our little gap right here. So I'll just point to that. So don't forget to leave that little gap in when you put that on. Oh, this feels great. I actually feel like it's a lot more stable now because it's not flexing where we spliced the 2 wall sections together. All right, let's gently put this to the side and see what our next step is. Okay. So yeah, I did step 12, cut and nail the cap plate for these 2 walls, leaving a 1/4 inch area for the channel in wall 1B and the corner of wall 1A. Yes, they are talking about this little gap right here again. Now we're on to 13, nail in the last fire blocks between wall 1A and 1B. Well, they're talking about here, this one, and that we already did that. So those 2 are done. To complete the joined walls, you need only to nail the let-in brace. What? You must cut the face of the studs, cripples, fire blocks, and plates 1/16 of the thickness of the 1x6 brace at every point where it crosses them. Take a piece of 1x6 lumber and run it over the joined walls. What? Are we notching these? So they are talking about this piece here that runs along here. This and this are the same piece. It wants us to cut in and splice in that piece. Oh, that's gonna take a little while. Well, first let's identify the 1x6. Okay, it's from this bundle here, and they're saying 1x6. They're saying this is 1x6, but well, it looks like the same thickness as the 2x4. So I think maybe it's representative of a 2x6, but that's the only piece that seems to make sense to go in here. And then what they're talking about is, let me bring back all the other pieces. So I'm going to gently bring back my other wall pieces. Bring it here. And then if I position it correctly on top of my drawing, then I'll be able to see where it's supposed to go. Okay, so I'm just gently sliding it back. They're talking about applying this piece across in a diagonal fashion, and then actually cutting out the thickness of this piece. So I'm going to stand it up on its edge. So we cut this thickness out of all the other pieces and splice that in. That seems like it's going to take a while. So I think that will be its own separate video. But the easy way to set this up, so I want to just set this up as we're getting prepared to do this, is you would align your pieces very carefully. So the whole wall section is secure, and then this piece is secure. And just to make sure, I'll give you a measurement on this piece. This piece is 10.5 inches long. And if you're worried, and if you're wondering about the width, when you're laying it flat, it's the same width as this 1x6 let-in brace. So we would put this right here. And then from there, we would make our marks. And I'm holding it and being careful not to move it, because I'm going to have to go and remove this piece. I'm going to have to pull it off right now and then cut in between those lines. Okay, so I'm going to gently take it off and see what I got here. Yes. And so I'm just going to color them a little bit more. Cutting into these pieces that we've already nailed is going to be problematic because of the nails might be getting in the way. We'll figure it out. So I'm just going over and darkening where the let-in brace channel will be cut. And then they want me to cut out this deep part. Yep, that's going to be, this is going to take a while. So I'm trying to think about the best way to cut into this, and I'm going to think about it a little bit more and wind down what we're doing right now, because digging these out, I could see the razor blade working pretty well. How would we make the right depth of cut each time? I'm trying to guess how that would be done. I think we might be turning to this box cutter to get in and cut some of these channels. I think that that could work out better than this piece, better than this razor blade. So that's going to be my recommendation, and then I will approach digging out a channel for this to sit inside. And when we're done, this should be flat and inside the wall, but at that diagonal piece, and have the diagonal piece in addition to that. So, okay. I think something that would illustrate what's happening just a little bit better is if I do the markings for this cut and actually do this cut also. So let me make sure that we're all aligned there and there. Got it. These are a much different angle. So I'm going to get my little cutting block out again. I'm going to cut at an angle, and I think if it's a little confusing, this is going to help make it make more sense. There's my angle cut there, and here's my other angle cut here. So we're going to cut a little channel, and that's going to drop in and be nailed in to there. And it's going to be flush with the other wood. That step's going to take a while, so I definitely recommend having some specific time just for that. Next step. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop there for today, and I'm going to stop the recording.